President-elect Joe Biden, Speaker Pelosi, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are all pushing for a second stimulus package. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders also called for another round of $1,200 stimulus checks. So folks, it looks like a stimulus deal might be approved by year's end. Because according to New York Times, stimulus prospects grow as leaders agree to try for a year-end deal. Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Mitch McConnell have agreed to try to reach a deal that could be included in a must-pass spending measure. Now before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. That way you'll never miss all the newest and most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check updates. And let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Congress must pass more stimulus relief. Now folks, let's see what President-elect Joe Biden says about a second stimulus payment. Remember that Joe Biden and the Democrats are pushing for more stimulus relief. By the way everybody, who do you think is to blame for holding back your second stimulus check and unemployment benefits? Is it Mitch McConnell or Speaker Pelosi? Tell me what you think in the comments down below.
Talk about what kind of stimulus to put together. You were elected by more than 80 million people to try to break that logjam. Can you talk about specifically what you have done over these past several weeks to actually work with Democrats and Republicans, speaking to congressional leaders to get them to agree?
It would be kind of stupid for me to tell you what I did, wouldn't it? It'd be kind of hard to do it again. And the last thing I'm going to do is tell you strategically how I go about this. I remember I used to get asked the same thing when I was putting together significant deals between Democrats and Republicans when I was a senator and vice president. It's just not a very smart thing. It would be ridiculous for you to tell me or your colleagues how you did it. All I can say is I'm confident there are a sufficient number of Democrats and Republicans in the United States Senate, along with significant votes coming out of the House of Representatives, to put together a serious package that will keep us from going off the edge here, provide the kind of resources that are needed immediately. It's not going to satisfy everybody.
And according to The Hill, Biden urges deal on $900 billion stimulus. President-elect Joe Biden on Friday urged Congress to pass a $900 billion stimulus relief bill during the lame duck session of Congress. He said he wanted to be a starting point in public remarks. Biden said it was critical to get a bill passed soon to provide relief to American hours after new labor reports showed slowing job growth as cases spike across the country. But still, President-elect Joe Biden dodged questions about whether he's spoken to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Biden said, "We need more economic relief to bridge through 2021 until the pandemic and economic crisis are over. And then we need to build back better." Those remarks reflected Biden's emerging position that the country cannot wait for some relief, but additional measures could be passed after he takes office on January 20th. When Joe Biden was asked if he directly contacted and spoke with Mitch McConnell, he did not directly answer. He responded by saying, "We'll be in dire trouble if we don't get cooperation, and I believe we will." The Hill goes on to say that McConnell and Biden have a long relationship, given Biden's decades in the Senate. Biden helped in negotiating several end-of-year packages with Mitch McConnell. Biden told CNN in an interview that he has received private congratulatory calls from several GOP senators. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are facing mounting pressure to get a deal on stimulus aid done before the end of the year, as infections and hospitalizations surge, and unemployment benefits are set to expire. And according to the New York Times, stimulus prospects grow as leaders agree to try for year-end deal. The prospects for an elusive bipartisan stimulus appeared to brighten on Friday as Speaker Nancy Pelosi projected fresh optimism that the House and Senate could come to terms, and President-elect Joe Biden prodded lawmakers to act and act now on a measure that he insisted was within reach. Pelosi told reporters that she and Senator Mitch McConnell and the Majority Leader had agreed to redouble efforts to find a deal that could be merged with an enormous year-end spending package currently under discussion. Pelosi told reporters at a news conference that this will be our hope because this is the vehicle leaving the station. She was speaking in regard to the $900 billion stimulus package. But while momentum has built behind a $908 billion plan, outlined by a bipartisan group of moderates that top Democrats have embraced as a starting point for talks, significant hurdles remain. No actual bill has been written yet, and McConnell has yet to offer an explicit endorsement of a plan. Biden said that he was confident that an agreement was possible, but pointedly declined to answer when asked by reporters whether he had spoken with Mr. McConnell. Biden also added, "It's not going to satisfy everybody, but the option is, if you insist on everything, we're likely to get nothing on both sides." Now, Senator Bernie Sanders was also one of the Democrats that was not satisfied with this $900 billion stimulus bill. He said Friday afternoon that he would not support the proposal without changes, deriding the inclusion of a liability shield for businesses operating during the pandemic as a get-out-of-jail-free card to companies that put the lives of the workers and customers at risk. He said the omission of another round of $1,200 direct payments to Americans was unacceptable. Sanders concluded by saying, "I look forward to working with my colleagues in the House and Senate to significantly improve this bill, but in its current form, I cannot support it." Everybody tell me in the comments down below, do you think that a second stimulus bill should include $1,200 stimulus checks? And how much should our next stimulus check be, $1,200 or $2,400? Tell me what you think, everybody, in the comments down below. With that being said, folks, that is all the news in regards to your second stimulus check, unemployment benefits, and second stimulus package. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell.
Including Senator Sanders, who have criticized this deal in part because it does not include the $1,200 checks that were in the last deal. What do you say about that? They say that the American people who are hurting, maybe not the same.
But I'm not going to comment on the specific details. The whole purpose of this is we've got to make sure people aren't thrown out of their apartments, lose their homes, are able to have unemployment insurance they can continue to feed their families on as we grow back the economy, be in a position where we provide for help to localities so they're not continuing to lay off school teachers and firefighters, et cetera, first responders, and to make sure we're in a position that we're able to generate the kind of growth that is a consequence of this by allowing, it costs a lot of money to keep schools and businesses open. On the COVID side of the equation, they're all pieces should be in it. There's much more. If I were writing it, I think the proposal that, quite frankly,
that way you'll never miss all the newest and most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information. My message to our American government is to pass the stimulus. American workers around the country and innocent American families need stimulus support. So Congress, approve the stimulus. If you agree with my message, then leave a comment down below saying, "I agree."